that type of body type was the type of body type that was when I was modeling. But people still said that models were too thin.
One other thing on bust. Did you consider breast reduction surgery?
No, you know what? I never considered that because it would leave too much scarring. And I'm answering you very honestly. That's something I've thought about. I look at young women that, you know, they wear their tank tops in the mall and they don't have to wear a bra, and that's absolutely fabulous. I look at that, but I don't want that if it would leave scars.
Did people then think you had false?
Oh, yes. People thought I had false breasts for a long time, and I underwent this kind of live ultrasound by a plastic surgeon on my talk show to prove that that was
Are you
not
afraid
the
of
case.
plastic surgery?
No, I'm not afraid of plastic surgery, and I'm not against it. And sometimes I get angry when models say that they're against plastic surgery, because I feel like you won a genetic lottery, girl, and you might have even done something yourself, and here you are telling people that they shouldn't do that. I feel like everybody should make a choice, and you know, if they want to do that, that's fine. I'm so not against it.
You started when you were 15?
15 years old.
What was your break?
My big break, I had different breaks. I got accepted to 5 colleges for film and television production I wanted to produce. And at the last minute, this modeling agent, this scout, saw
Out here, you
in
grew
Paris.
up in LA.
And I was modeling locally, just little stuff here and there. And this modeling scout saw some pictures of me in LA, and she convinced me to put school off for a year and come to Paris. So that was my first big break.
And you were what age when you went to Paris?
I was 17. I just graduated from high school.
What'd your parents think?
My mom was extremely supportive. She said, if this is what you want to do, then you have to make sure you study it. I studied so much about the fashion industry. I studied designers. I studied all the different walks that every model had. I knew how to walk for Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, because I studied. And I went over to Paris and I booked around 25 fashion shows my very first season, and that hasn't been repeated since. But my dad had my dad was not supportive of this at all. At all. He wanted me to go to school. He'd already paid for Loyola Marymount University. He was ready for me to go.
Did he come to accept it?
He came to accept it when the covers started getting sent home.
Did you get them very early?
My first job was a cover in Paris, actually. My very first job was a cover of a magazine called 20 ans, which means 20 years in French.
What did you like about standing there all day?
Modeling? You know what?
Seems boring.
You know what? I did not like posing for photos.
Don't?
No, but so I didn't like modeling. I liked having modeled. So I liked the finished product. I did not like creating the product. But what I did like was the runway, because I felt like I was a big ham and I can just pounce on the runway.
We'll take a break. Be back with more of Tyra Banks right after these words.
Whenever I pick up a magazine, they are talking about your weight. They're
Right.
showing certain pictures. They're just really, really scrutinizing your weight. What does that feel like to be so scrutinized by your physical being?
It's horrible. It's horrible, especially when you're trying to do something about it and you have just so many eyes watching you and people talking about you and you know, like, we don't go around and call people fat, you know, that are overweight. We don't call people, you know, overweight and point at them and laugh at them. So I don't know why it's okay to do it to people that are too thin.
Honey, there's an article here about your poor leg circulation.
Peripheral artery disease, yeah?
I didn't realize PAD is so serious.
PAD puts you at more than double the risk of heart attack or stroke. So if you're diagnosed, it's important to make sure you're doing everything you can to reduce that risk. You see, poor circulation in the legs could mean poor circulation in the heart and brain as well. That's a risk for heart attack or stroke. So get the facts if you've been diagnosed with PAD or have pain or heaviness in the legs.
I think I need to learn more about this.
Call 1-800-470-6164 for this free information about PAD, diagnosis, and treatment options to reduce the risk of heart attack or stroke.
I'm calling that number.
PAD is news to most people. Get the story with this free information kit. Call 1-800-470-6164 or visit padupdate.com.
31 days of Oscar. A month of the best awarded and nominated films leading up to the Academy Awards Sunday, February 25th. February 1st through March 3rd. Completely commercial free on Turner Classic Movies.
Dramatic twist in the Missouri Miracle. Was the alleged kidnapper of 2 boys involved in a murder in another state? Nancy Grace investigates. Nancy Grace, Headline Prime. Tomorrow, 8 Eastern.
As a Fisher Investments client, you'll always have the opportunity to understand where your investments are, what they're doing, and more importantly, the reasons why. The way we see it, the more you know, the more you'll rest assured, and the quicker you can get back to what matters most, your life. Fisher Investments. Invest assured. For a free copy of the 8 biggest mistakes investors make, call 1-888-48-FISHER or visit fisheroffer.com.
All you need and then some. Upgrade today to Comcast Digital Cable. More channels, more movies, more music. Just call 1-888-COMCAST. Comcast Digital Cable. It's Comcastic.
Let's get to the truth. It's time for answers. Blue Dogs tonight. CNN tomorrow, 6 Eastern.
CNN video podcasts available for download now.
Can I get some reaction?
Knee-jerk reaction.
Can I get some reaction?
When the pain gets really bad.
Watch the grist! Watch the grist! Watch the grist! Or I'll jump!
Get out, jump!
Eureka.
If you're still concerned, it's probably a good idea to see a doctor.
You can't dance to it, but we're sure it'll move you. CNN video podcasts. Download now at CNN.com.
This is CNN.
How do you deal with your girls at 15 and 16 right now, and they're dealing with all the body changes and this peer pressure and the self-esteem issues? You do?
Yes, I do, actually, because I said, now that's a real woman. You know, that's not somebody who weighs 80 pounds. That's not somebody who's trying to be somebody she's not. That's somebody, you know, who's happy with themselves and who's doing something that she wants to do.
Good point, isn't it?
That was a very big compliment coming from Maria Shriver.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness.
Tyra, we sent our cameras out to the streets this past weekend, and
did.
boy, were people anxious to talk to Tyra. Here are a couple of things they wanted to know.
Wow.
Watch.
Tyra, I want to know how you feel about your new image and how it's going to affect women from here on out.
Hey, Tyra, I just got a question for you. How can I get thin and gorgeous like you?
Hi, Tyra. I just wanted to not ask you a question, but just compliment you on your success, and you're still beautiful no matter what anyone says.
Okay, new image. What did she mean by that?
I don't know if I think she meant talk show image, transitioning from a model to a talk show host and being like one of the voices of my generation as opposed to just like a body and a face. I think that's what she might be talking about.
All right, how does it feel?
You know, it feels good because this is a message that I've had for a long time. That's what the first email, I think his name was Doug, he said, you know, you're just all of a sudden saying this, and this is something that I've always said, but now people are listening and people care. And I've always had a passion for young girls. I have an organization called T-Zone, and it supports young girls in self-esteem with body image, relationships. You know, so it just feels really good now that people are listening to the message.
Have people, in view of this current controversy, if that's the right word, come to your defense?
Yes, I'm getting a lot of emails. There's a lot of celebrities that I don't know how they got my email. I guess, you know, people like, go, here's her email address, send her something. There's one celebrity, I won't say her name, she's very famous, and she said that she's always been scared to say how much she weighs. And now that I said on People magazine that I weigh 161 pounds right now, she said that just has liberated her because she feels fine when she looks in the mirror, but the number on the scale kills her. And she says now she feels free and okay to talk about her number.
Why are we so weight crazy?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been so concerned about the number. If I was concerned about what the number said on the scale, I would have gone crazy. I heard you speaking earlier, was it to Paula Zahn, talking about, you said, you know, I don't look like I'm 161 pounds, but this is what 161 pounds looks like when you're 5'10", you know, and it's okay.
Yeah, I know, but why are people so concerned about it?
I think we're so obsessed, and you want to talk about hypocritical, you know, like I think it's so sad that there's these actresses and people out there and you're saying they're so skinny, they're so skinny, they're so skinny, and then but at the same time they're calling them the fashion icons, and they weren't fashion icons when they were thicker, but they are now when they're thinner, or to also to attack people that have gained weight, or you know, I think it's really sick.
Supermodel Gisele Bundchen, you know her?
Yes.
Has jumped into the controversy over super thin models. She suggests one of the problems is that some of these girls don't have a strong family base to support them. You agree?
When it comes to anorexic models?
Yeah.
I think You know, Giselle has her point, but I think there's a whole, it's a lot deeper. You know, anorexia is a disease. Bulimia is a disease. It's not just a disorder. No, I never have. I never, ever have. And to Giselle's point, it's because of my mother.
So she's on point then.
Yes, when the agencies told me that I was 123 pounds, Larry, and the agencies told me that I needed to be 10 pounds lighter, so 5'10" and 113 pounds. And I went to, my mom told me that the agency said that to her. And I said, Mom, what are we going to do? And she took my hands and she said, you know what we're going to do, Tyra? We're going to go order pizza right now. That is the person that was my rock and kept me focused. So I do think that's part of it. Another part is the fashion industry. You know, and this, I'm not going to attack them. It's an industry that made me the woman that I am today, you know, in terms of my success. But at the same time, when they're hiring the skinniest girl out there, the girl next to her is going, oh my gosh, I'm 5 pounds lighter, heavier than her, or 10 pounds heavier than her. She's booking more shows than me. So what do I do to eat, to feed my family, to you know?
So then you lost jobs because you were curvy, right?
I started to lose jobs because I was curvy and changed my career and decided to do, you know, Victoria's Secret and more CoverGirl and Sports Illustrated and be the girl next door. I did Pepsi commercials and things
It's great that you could make that transition.
Yeah, most girls can't.
Email question from Gail in Syracuse, New York. Does Tyra do any type of exercise?
I go back and forth with exercise. That's why my weight goes between 148 and 162. Right now, I'm around 161. I'm not doing any cardio. I probably lost about 3 or 4 pounds in the last couple of weeks because I just started Pilates again. But Pilates doesn't really make you lose weight. Make me maybe shed a little bit, but you got to get on the treadmill to lose weight.
Now, how do you deal with those who say, well, in view of what you're currently doing, you shouldn't be advising aspiring young models?
That is my biggest yin and yang pull that I go to bed with every single night, because I created America's Next Top Model because I feel so fortunate.
It's a reality show.
That's a reality. Yeah, my reality show, America's Next Top Model. I feel so fortunate to have had a career and to live in Los Angeles, California, and have access to the best agencies in the world. And I wanted to be able to give young girls that dream because it's an amazing dream, and I had the power to give them that dream. But at the same time, a lot of the girls on the show are very thin. And so that is the crux that lives inside of me, that I go to bed at night and I'm like, I want to give this dream, but at the same time, it's creating insecurities. So what I do is I have plus-size girls on the show, or I have curvier girls on the show, and I even take it even beyond body image, and I have girls that are not the typical beauty, you know, not just the typical pretty girl. She might be odd-looking, interesting-looking, to make that young girl at home see some type of reflection in herself, because contrary to popular belief, the most successful models aren't the prettiest girls in the world.
Aren't there some work for overweight women to show overweight kind of dresses for size 16s?
Overweight or full figured? There's a difference. Get it right, Larry. Not overweight.
Okay, full figured.
Full figured. Yes, there is
That's
work
a market,
for full
isn't
figured.
it?
Yes, and we have full figured girls on Top Model. In fact, I've been wanting to do this for so long. For Cycle 8, which starts on February 28th, we're actually going to have 2 plus-size models on
How
Top
about
Model.
women over 40?
There's a market for that, too. That's called the mature market.
Ahead in our second half, Tyra's undercover work in a fat suit. An emotional experience for her. She'll talk about it after this.
Okay, I'm going to read a statement, and if you agree with the statement, I want you to move all the way over to the side of the audience with the agree sign. All right, the first statement is, I constantly refer to myself as fat. I constantly refer to myself as fat.
When I look in the mirror, I cry and I see ugliness and fat. And in high school, I used to cut myself.
You did.
She calls herself ugly, she cuts herself, and constantly comparing herself to like Britney Spears' body, hair, looks, and whatnot.
I like driving because I always like to see what's on the other side of the hill. My name is Max Mayberry, and I've spent most of my life on the road. I love to travel because I meet so many interesting people. You know, every day I get the most out of life. And now I'm getting the most out of Medicare. That's why I chose Secure Horizons. I get Part D prescription drug coverage. I get a nice, predictable co-payment. I get vision and hearing benefits, and you have to have good vision for the road. They have these great wellness programs to help keep me healthy. I get coverage wherever I travel, and I travel a lot. And I don't pay a penny more than I'm already paying for Medicare.
Get the most out of Medicare. Call now to get this free package to learn more about Secure Horizons Medicare Advantage health plans.
I called Secure Horizons 800 number. They sent me the material. I just signed up real easy. Everywhere I go, I spread the word about Secure Horizons.
Hey, how you doing, Mac?
How you doing?
Call Secure Horizons today to get the benefits you've been looking for, all in one place. Benefits like Part D prescription drug coverage for over 1,300 brand name and generic prescription drugs. Over 60,000 network pharmacies accept our Medicare drug plans. Predictable costs for doctor visits and medical services. Vision and hearing benefits. Wellness programs to help keep you healthy and independent. And in most places, Secure Horizons health plans don't cost a penny more than you're already paying for original Medicare.
In my life, I've logged over 5 million miles. And now Secure Horizons is watching over me as I travel on down the road.
Live secure, be secure. Secure Horizons by United Healthcare. Call this number today to sign up or to find out more.
Now you keep the rubber on the road, you hear?
The perfect Valentine's gift. The Jewelry Exchange has diamond heart pendants with 34 diamonds for $79 and 1/3 carat studs for $99. Buy factory direct the Jewelry Exchange with superstores nationwide or go online at jewelryexchange.com.
CNN, the most trusted name in news.
We're back with Tyra Banks. We'll be going to phone calls, more emails. You dressed up in a fat suit, and we'll show a little clip of that. Why?
I did it because one day I was sitting around a table of some friends of mine, and my friends represented the colors of the rainbow. I mean, I had all different races. We were talking about all kind of stuff, and then the subject turned to obese people. And one of my friends said, oh my God, you know what, when I see them eat, I just want to vomit. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And then everybody started piping in and kind of agreeing with it. And I said, I want you guys to stop, because my talk show has opened up my eyes to the world and everything. So I said, you guys stop. Look around the table. You guys are all different races. If somebody says something about an Asian or Latin or a black person right now, you guys would be arguing and fighting and beating each other down verbally. I was like, but you've all joined forces with this whole overweight thing. And I was like, this might be the last thing that's okay to like slander and do these type of slurs. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a show about this. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that that conversation is what started it. And then we decided to just take it a step further and go inside the world.
Let's watch Tyra Undercover.
It looks like me, but I can't really feel it.
3 hours later, as the final touches were being done, my production team gathered the gear for the experiment. With a hidden camera in my glasses and an undercover cameraman, I was ready to hit the streets.
Laughing, pointing.
As soon as I stepped off the bus, I saw 3 people turn and laugh right in my face. I was stunned.
What'd you learn?
I learned I didn't know people were so nasty and so ugly. I know that people can say things behind your back. I've heard it, you know, and when I was a young girl, I was a mean girl. I used to talk about people. But I did not know that it could be so blatant, that in your face, people laughed and pointed to me as soon as I stepped off that bus. Or I went on a date with a guy and I said, you know, as you can imagine, you know, I kind of have some trouble dating. And he goes, oh, I don't have to imagine, I have eyes. Stuff like that. I was like, I had no idea. And this experiment was not, because some people were pitching me, you know, go to a movie theater and try to sit in the seat and see. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, what? That's not what I'm trying to prove. I'm trying to prove the ugliness of people, not the difficulty of being overweight physically, but the ugliness of people.
Let's take some calls for Tyra. Ontario, Canada. Hello.
Hi, Tyra. I have a 6-year-old daughter who thinks she's fat, and I'm just wondering with your show, America's Next Top Model, how you could help change that perception in society.
Well, you know what? Your daughter calling herself fat is the reason why I do my talk show, is because that pains me so much. It's why I started my organization called T-Zone, because of young girls. But she's probably too young to watch my talk show, and she probably watches America's Next Top Model more. And I want you to tell her to watch, and I don't mean to sound like I'm plugging, but America's Next Top Model Cycle 8, it starts February 28th, and I want you to sit her down in front of that TV, because there are 2 beautiful, full-figured models that are on the show. It's not like a token, like where you just throw in one just because, you know, that I've been fighting for 2 girls for so long and finally got my way. And I think she's going to feel a lot more beautiful when she sees that. I think it's so important that young girls see some type of reflection of themselves, whether she's overweight or not, but to see something being called beautiful, like to, you know, a little black girl to see black girls on TV and to see that's called beautiful, Asian, Latin, full-figured, whatever it is, that is what starts changing little girls' minds.
Have you had producers put pressure on you about weights? Television producer or any?
I wouldn't say pressure, but I have had some executives at my talk show say that if I were to gain weight, they think I would be more relatable. I have had that, but not pressure. But they're like, Tyra, you know, we prefer if you're thicker because it makes you not as intimidating.
Paparazzi still bother you, or are you too identifiable?
I don't get bothered by the paparazzi. I'm very lucky. They don't follow me. Yeah, but they don't really follow me. I think because I don't party or do anything, so there's no story except for on a beach in Australia, I guess.
Lady Smith, British Columbia, hello.
Hi, Tyra. I was just wondering, I know you have a lot of connections in the entertainment business, and I've always had it in the back of my head to make a film about girls who need to see that there are more girls in this world that are full-figured. And I was wondering if you would ever thought about making a film about it to get more teenage girls.
A film about raising the awareness of full-figured beauty?
Yeah, making it so that, like, anorexic, being that thin isn't cool. It isn't realistic.
Yeah. I haven't thought about doing a movie about that. Movies take so long to do, and I don't really have...
Maybe a good television special. Huh?
Yeah, a good television special. But the thing is, with my talk show, we cover that all the time. So I do 185 shows per year on my talk show, and a big percentage of that is dedicated to exactly what you're talking about. So I'm lucky enough to have that platform, you know, for that message to get out there.
Email question from Patty in Herndon, Virginia. What advice can you give parents whose teenage daughters are bombarded by the Hollywood line that you must be big-busted and bone-thin to look beautiful? My daughter's 5'3", weighs 110. I think she's the perfect weight. She's convinced she's fat.
5'3" and 110 and convinced that she's fat. I feel like, you know, sometimes I'm like, I'm so happy that I don't have a daughter right now, because I don't even know if the words that I would say to my own daughter would get through to her, because sometimes, you know, we don't listen to our moms and we think our moms are just like saying stuff to us. But I'll look in the camera and tell your daughter right now, 5'3" and 110 pounds, that's very small. And it's so hard to not look at the magazines with the very skinny actresses. Those girls don't look healthy. I don't know if they are healthy or not, but they don't look healthy. Right. And 5'3" and 110 is a beautiful weight. It's kind of still on the small side to me. And don't let that not tell you that that's beautiful. Suzanne DePass, you know, she has a great history of Berry Gordy and great businesses now. I was sitting with her at a dinner party the other night, and she was talking about, I don't remember the quote exactly, and I'll get it at a break because I want to read this quote. But she talked about, like, your body and your self-esteem is like a boat. And there's all this water around you. But in order to stay mentally healthy, you have to make sure that water does not get inside of your boat. And that's what I'm trying to do right now with young girls. I'm trying to say, there's all this stuff telling you that you're not good enough. There's people telling me I'm America's Next Top Model. They've been saying this to me ever since I was 23 in modeling, that I'm too big. But I have to keep the water out of my head so that I can be strong enough for young girls that are feeling the pressures of that.
Coming up, the difference between nighttime Tyra and daytime Tyra. She'll explain. And we'll talk about her interview with Janet Jackson, too. Stick around.
What are you insecure about when you look in the mirror, when you take your clothes off and you go, oof?
Oh, a friend asked me once to do an exercise. And that was to look in the mirror and find something that you like about yourself. So I looked in the mirror and I immediately started crying.
Really?
Yeah, because there was nothing that I liked about myself. So I kept trying. I finally was able to actually just look at myself in the mirror without, you know, having any kind of emotion whatsoever. And I realized that I like the sway of my back and my smile.
This is you. You've awakened in the dark because your sleep aid didn't give you a full night of sleep. And all you can do is lie there and wish you could go back to sleep. Tomorrow, ask your doctor about Lunesta. Non-narcotic Lunesta can help you sleep 7 to 8 peaceful, quiet hours. Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Always talk to your doctor first before taking sleep aids for extended periods. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Tomorrow night, leave the rest to Lunesta.
What if you could leverage a dramatically powerful tool that gave your business an immediate competitive advantage? A tool that easily captured contact information from business cards, email, and websites, and turned those leads into assets you could act on. Well, CardScan is that tool. It's the only contact management solution you need to add real value to your contact data. CardScan accurately scans and interprets business cards in seconds and lets you drag and drop contact data from email and web pages. CardScan makes your data available from any browser, backs it up, and syncs it with PDAs and smartphones. It also works with Outlook and other contact management systems. Visit our website and try CardScan Executive for 30 days, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. CardScan. Take advantage of it.
Tomorrow, beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern, get the most news in the morning.
Microsoft, changing life on the internet. Again, founder Bill Gates takes Vista on a one-of-a-kind test drive.
Tomorrow at 6 a.m. on American Morning.
You can't just sit behind a desk all the time and think you know what's going on in the world. You have to go out and see it for yourself. You gotta smell it, you gotta taste it, you gotta see it.
Why do you think you would look in the mirror and cry? Everyone looks at you and thinks that you're so beautiful.
I never, well, thank you. I never found myself attractive.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just never found myself attractive.
You like her?
I love Janet Jackson.
Good girl.
And it's funny because I've seen her do a lot of interviews, but I hadn't seen the side when she did my show. I asked her 20 questions she's never been asked, just crazy questions. And she answered all of them, was like, Tyra, girl, what are you saying? You know, you always hear the Janet Jackson that talks really soft, but like she went out of that comfort zone.
What's nighttime Tyra, daytime Tyra?
Oh my God, there's two different ones.
Who's here now?
Daytime, just, you know, whatever. Nighttime Tyra, it's a character. She looks like this, and she says, that picture is not fierce. Your eyes look dead. Who the hell is that? No, that's something I created, and you know, it's a television show. America's Next Top Model is the nighttime girl. The critique that is coming out of my mouth is from my heart. It's from all of my experience, you know, being in the fashion industry for almost 18 years. That's nighttime. That's nighttime. No, that's the girl like this. Nighttime, America's Next Top Model. Larry, you're still in the running.
Okay, daytime.
Daytime is just myself, you know. America's Next Top Model, I'm consistently sucking my stomach in. Daytime, I'm running around the stage with stomach sticking out. I'm talking about, you know, flatulence and eating and just all kind of crazy stuff.
Flatulence.
Yeah.
You said something interesting during the break.
What'd I say?
That you, nighttime and daytime, Tyra, you have trouble getting dates.
I do have trouble getting dates. I guess, yeah, it's hard.
Because?
I don't know.
Intimidate guys?
I went on this date with this one guy. He's like, they're calling you a mogul and stuff. Oh, wow. Like, I read how much money you make. Damn. I'm like, I'm just a girl. I really am just a girl. If I take off this hair weave and these eyelashes, like, you will not be intimidated. And I went on this, like, one date with a guy, and we had, like, such good chemistry. He's like, you're so cool. Oh, my God, I feel like I've known you forever. This is crazy. Never called me back. Never called me back. And then I hear later he thinks that I'm just too, my image or success is too much. And I'm like, I'm just a girl. I remember that movie. What is that movie? Notting Hill with Julia Roberts. I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love me.
Now, you would think, the world would think they're online for you.
Oh, I wish I had a line. Where's the line? Line up outside. No, I was about to say line up outside of
Barrie, Ontario. Next call from Barrie, Ontario for Lonely Tyra. Hello.
Good evening, Larry. Good evening, Tyra.
Hi.
I have a question for you. You've been a model for a long time, and you know the pressures. Do you feel that beauty pageant contestants feel the same pressure, especially what would happen with Miss USA?
Do beauty pageant contestants feel the same about body image?
Pressure. No, they're just the same pressure.
Just pressure. I think beauty pageants, they might even feel a little bit more pressure than models.
You ever entered one?
Oh, gosh, no. I never have. I probably would be good at it, but I never was interested, never attracted to that at all.
Must be a lot of pressure to walk down that.
But I just think that they have to smile.
Brazil.
They have to have the perfect answer. They have to, it's like a certain thing, whereas a model can walk into work with a tank top on and be like, where's the set, put on the hair and makeup, boom, and then go back and do whatever. It's very different.
I guess this Tyra Banks, Anderson Cooper he's in the city of San Antonio, Texas tonight. They're dedicating an extraordinary new facility, and we'll check with him right after these words.
Nature's Tears Eye Mist, the natural way to soothe and moisturize tired, strained, dry eyes. Nature's Tears Eye Mist. Now, doesn't that feel better? Nature's Tears Eye Mist. Now, doesn't that feel better?
Tomorrow, CNN Pipeline. Congress searches for a new strategy in Iraq. Go to CNN.com for some of the biggest names in the debate. Live tomorrow on CNN Pipeline.
As a Fisher Investments client, you'll always have the opportunity to understand where your investments are, what they're doing, and more importantly, the reasons why. The way we see it, the more you know, the more you'll rest assured, and the quicker you can get back to what matters most, your life. Fisher Investments. Invest assured. For a free copy of the 8 biggest mistakes investors make, call 1-888-48-FISHER or visit fisheroffer.com.
At Bob Lanfear's Beaverton Chrysler, you'll get more than a low price. You'll get the customer satisfaction that's only available from a local, family-owned and run business. Beaverton Chrysler would like to earn your business. And to do that, we've stocked a huge selection of the most popular Chrysler cars and vans and priced them to sell immediately. So if you're even thinking about a new vehicle, any vehicle, come to Bob Lanfear's Beaverton Chrysler on Canyon Road in Beaverton and let our family serve your family. With a huge selection, low prices, and excellent service. Just buy Bob and save.
Why are these people pouring the Pinot, passing the ptarmigan, and having the time of their lives? Because the Portland Showcase of Wine and Cheese brings out the fun in everyone. So buy your tickets and round up a group of friends. Then come to Portland's premier wine and cheese tasting to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Over 250 wines, cheeses, music, and silent and live auctions. Tickets available online or at local Sherry's restaurants. Don't wait, because the only regret you'll have in the morning is if you miss the night before.
Christian Cage. I'm Christian Cage, but I'm sure you already knew that. Never pinned. Easily the greatest wrestler of this decade. Never submitted. Christian Cage is an instant classic. Never beaten. If you don't know, now you know. One of the most dominant wrestling stars of this decade. The greatest wrestler of this decade. TNA Against All Odds. Live February 11th on In-Demand Pay-Per-View. TNA. We are wrestling.
Let's get to the truth. It's time for answers. Lou Dobbs tonight. CNN tomorrow, 6 Eastern.
I've heard some amazing stories. Talked with incredible people from all over the world. I can't wait to see who sits here next.
We had our cameras, as we said earlier. We showed you some people on the street. Here are some more with questions and comments about Tyra Banks. Let's watch.
Hey,
Hey Tyra, we're just trying to find out what's your next move for your career. Are you going to stay doing the talk shows? Are you going to move into movies? Or what's the next move?
Or stay at home and have some babies. Hey!
Where do I look?
Hey, Tyra, I was just wondering if you're ever going to make a return to modeling, maybe in Sports Illustrated swimsuit or anything like that, because I'd kind of like to see you again.
Hey, Tyra. I'm just wondering, how do you have time to do anything? Because every time I see you, you're on TV with your talk show and with your top model. So I'm just wondering how you have a life rather than work.
Okay, let's break it down. Career move, any career moves still to come?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of things in the works. Bankable Productions is my production company, and we have a sitcom in the works. We have a 1-hour show in the works. We have a live show in the works. You know, the bankable...
You're an entrepreneurial.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the bankable mantra is, you know, things that are fantasy-based and also empowering to women, as well as fantasy, too, and
Will you
entertaining.
produce things that you're not on?
Most definitely. That's what most of my projects are. Like the girl said, if I did everything, I'd be going crazy.
Ever want to go back to modeling?
Gosh, no. I do not want to go back to modeling. There are things that I play around here and there. On America's Next Top Model, there's a shot of me that pops up every judging that I do. So that's my little thing. That's enough.
What if somebody came by and said, we'd like you to be our Maybelline lipstick girl?
They have. Not Maybelline, I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
Will
I've
you
been
turn
offered
it
all
down?
that stuff. Yeah, I'm not so interested in being an endorser now, Larry. I want to own the companies that I work with. I don't want to work for someone else.
But you do remember the days when you'd have jumped at it, right?
Oh, I had a CoverGirl contract. I think I was the second black woman ever to have a CoverGirl to have a cosmetics contract, and I jumped at that. But I feel like now I want to create companies and hire young women to, you know, to be in them, not for me to be in it.
How do you find time, was the other question, to do everything?
How do I find time? Last year I didn't have any weekends. All of my work was 24/7, and it was to get this talk show off the ground and to continue Top Model's success. But now I have weekends. I sleep in all day yesterday. No, day before yesterday. I worked yesterday. All day before, it was that Saturday. I laid in the bed until 2 p.m. and then went to the movies with my mama and saw 2 movies.
No date, Saturday night,
yeah,
Tyra Banks.
with my mom. Isn't that sad? That is really sad. But I'm dating. I'm
You're
dating.
open to date.
Yeah. It's just, you know, guys don't ask me out.
Well,
Can I give you my Suzanne DePass quote that I found in my little...
Sure.
I keep this little journal in my purse. I think everybody should keep these types of things in my purse. It's things to do. It's like, you know, things that I hear that inspire me. And at that dinner, Suzanne DePass told me, all the water in the world cannot sink a ship unless it gets inside. And she didn't know that I was going through all this tabloid hell, or maybe she did, and she's very gracious at the dinner table, and she didn't bring it up. But she was speaking to my spirit and my soul. I was like, I'm doing everything to make sure that that water does not get inside so I can stay strong for young women.
an email from Jason, Pembroke Pines, Florida. At what point in your career did you realize that modeling would not last forever?
I was around 18 years old.
Really?
Yeah. A couple years into my career when I realized that there was going to be an end to this, and I started preparing for the end at the beginning. I would be backstage at fashion shows looking around and saying, okay, she was real hot last season, and now she's only in 2 fashion shows in Paris. This one was hot, but now she's all insecure because her phone's not ringing. And I was like, I talked to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I got to do something else. So I did an interview when I was 18 years old in Milan, Italy, and they said, what do you want to do after modeling? And I was like, I'm going to have my own talk show. And I meant it. And I planned for this. I always tell young kids, people think I just popped up and did a talk show and popped up. It was a plan.
You know where you're going. We'll be back with our remaining moments with Tyra Banks right after this. Don't go away.
Jewelry, the perfect gift. Half-carat Journey pendants, $199, matching earrings, $249, 3-stone rings, $149, and half-carat Eternal Love pendants, $139. We guarantee the jewelry we make to appraise for double by Factory Direct, the jewelry exchanged nationwide.
This beautiful little girl is Adriana. She lives with her family overseas in this horrible slum. Adriana must walk these rocky, filthy streets barefoot because her family is so poor. They can't even afford a decent pair of shoes. Hello, I'm Walter Coppage for Children International. Please, call the number on your screen now. We'll send you this information kit absolutely free, without any obligation. with a photo and family history of a special little boy or girl who needs your love. In just a few days, your kit will arrive in the mail, and you can read all about your child, her health, her family, and living conditions. You can hold her picture in your hand and learn how you can change her life by giving her important things, like a simple pair of shoes. Then if you decide to become her sponsor, your monthly gift is only $22. Your $22 a month will help provide medical care, clothing, emergency food, essentials for a good education, and so much more. In return, you will receive the love of your child and the joy that comes from giving her a chance at a better life. Each year, you'll receive personal letters from your child and an updated photo. All this for just $22 a month. This affordable program is possible because we keep our costs low without sacrificing the care your child receives. If you could help change the entire course of this child's life for just $22 a month, wouldn't you? With Children International, you can. But remember, don't send any money now. Just call the number on your screen to request your free information kit. There's absolutely no obligation. Your love and support can do so much for one special child, like Adriana. Please, call now. For free information on how to help a child like Adriana, call 1-800-708-9487. Operators are standing by. Find out how you can help change one child's life. That's 1-800-708-9487. Please, call now.
We're back. We have one more email from Mobutu in Lagos, Nigeria.
Wow.
It's not so much a question as an offer. Why is Tyra worried about her weight? I will marry her as my queen.
Thank you, Mobutu. I'm not worried about my weight at all. I'm worried about young girls and what the negative connotations of those pictures out there are saying. I'm not worried about my weight. I know what I look like, Mobutu. I'm 161 and I feel fine and beautiful. Thank you, though.
Go get him, Mobutu.
But one thing I want to tell you, Larry, about people are like, why am I speaking out now about these pictures? I've always told truth about any type of lie, the truth about any type of lie. There's pictures of me that are retouched where I look like a Barbie. And I will go on my talk show. I've gone on other shows and have removed the retouching and said, this is what my booty really looks like. This is what my dark circles really look like. This is what I look like without a hair weave. So I'm just doing it the other way. It's just, telling the truth about the other way.
This Thursday on your show, you're going to discuss all this.
February 1st, yes.
Supermodel Naomi Campbell, you and she have had some issues, we know. You talked about them with her on her show.
On my show.
Yeah, what do you think of her recent anger management?
I'm proud of Naomi for going through anger management. I'm really, really proud of her for doing that.
What issues do you have with her?
Oh, I don't have any issues. In the past, there were some issues. The industry was touting us as me being the new model and telling her to step aside because I was the new black model, and she had a strong reaction to that. As well she should. I think her reaction was a little strong, but if someone is telling you, Larry King, move over, there's a new one coming and you gotta go, you'd be upset about that. I think she just took it a little too far.
There weren't black models in fairly recent history, right? This is a new phenomenon.
During my time, there were more than there are now, but there weren't a lot, no.
It was just as hard in the modeling world as it was in every other world for the black woman.
Yes.
Except for Ebony or
But
Jet.
the difference with the modeling world is that they can tell you to your face, your skin does not look good with my clothes, or I don't want black girls this season, I don't want you, or I want to pay you less. Like they say those types of things.
They do.
And it's not illegal. Yeah.
Did you cope with the pressures of that modeling? It's a very, very competitive field, isn't it?
It was very competitive. I had a strong family. I had interest outside of the modeling. I didn't mix my business with pleasure. I might have went in 18 years. I might have gone to 3 fashion parties. I stayed just far away from it. A lot of it was I was intimidated and scared of them. It was just, ooh, people, they talk like this and they tell you you're fabulous. And I was like, that's not real. That's like some caricature people. I'm scared of them. And I just stayed away. And it kept me sane.
What was Paris like for an 18-year-old?
I was 17. And it was terrifying. It was very lonely. I was doing really well, but I didn't know I was doing well. And my agency was telling me that I was doing just like all the other girls. So I would come home to my my roommate who was a model, and I'd say, "Are you going to do Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent and Dior today?" And she's like, "Everybody's doing it, right?" And so she thought I was pushing it in her face. My agency's lying to me and telling me I wasn't doing well, and it alienated me.
Watch Tyra Banks on Thursday, November 1st.
Yeah.
It'll be a follow-up to this program.
And I do have one venture that I might model in, but I'd be hiring myself, not working for somebody else.
Hiring herself. It's come to this.
Yes.
Thanks, Tyra.
Thank you.
Tyra Banks, what a great guest.
Thank you.
One note before we go. When Angelina Jolie joined Robert De Niro and Matt Damon on this program last month, I asked her about her mom, the actress Marceline Bertrand, and her long battle with ovarian cancer.
Angelina, it's been reported that your mom has been battling cancer. How is she doing?
She's doing good. She's been battling, so you're the first person to ask about it. She has for about 6 years, and she's a remarkable woman. She's very, very strong. Great.
Sadly, Angelina's mom passed away on Saturday at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center with Angelina, her brother James Haven, and her partner Brad Pitt by her side. She was only 56. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Angelina and her family, who ask that instead of flowers, donations be made to the Women's Cancer Research Institute at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Tonight, the war in Iraq is escalating. President Bush